On this James the Bike Guy, we're taking a look at the 2019 Trek Domane SL5. This is a endurance geometry fit road bike from Trek, and this thing is set up to go anywhere and do just about anything. So let's go ahead and get into some of the specs, some of the design, and let you know some of my thoughts about this bike. But before we do that, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. So looking at this, the Trek Domane has been in the lineup from Trek for many years now, and it is their endurance geometry road bike. Basically what that means is the front end of the bike is going to be a little bit taller, and then the reach of the bike is going to be a little bit shorter than a traditional performance road bike, and that allows for a much more comfortable riding position, but it also allows for a bike that on a super long ride you're going to be able to sit in and create the same amount of energy and power for the whole time because your body is going to be stabilized and comfortable. So looking at this bike, the SL indicates that this is a carbon fiber frame. So this is their mid-level carbon fiber. They call it 500 series OCLV. And what that allows for is a very nice carbon bike that's going to be set up with ample tire clearance and some real comfort. So getting into the comfort, the first thing we should talk about is in the front end. So this has what they call IsoSpeed technology. Basically what that is in the front end of the bike, the handlebars can actually have a little bit of flex. And that's because right here, there's actually a bearing interface that's in there that allows the steer tube, which is the part that goes down to the fork, allows the front end to flex a little. So you're going to get some extra comfort out of the handlebars. And then in the back, they're going to have IsoSpeed as well. Now this has been around for quite a bit of time, and it's an interface with two bearings on each side of the top tube to seat tube junction. And that allows the seat post to be a separated portion, and it allows when you hit a bump your weight to flex the seat post back. And that ends up making a huge difference in the quality of how the bike rides. Now I talked about tire clearance. This is the disc brake version. They do make a rim brake one as well. However, discs are kind of the way of the future. And what's really neat about this is this bike can actually run up to 35 millimeter tires. So it's not quite a gravel bike, but if you wanted a awesome endurance road bike, you'd be able to fit giant tires in here for most gravel events. If that, wasn't your main function, that's going to be an awesome thing so that you can use the same bike for more than just your traditional rides. So the drivetrain on this bike is going to be Shimano's 105, and that's because a SL5 level, the 5 indicates Shimano 105 on Trek. So that means up front you're going to have a 50-34 chainring size on this Shimano R7000 crankset with, of course, the new 7000 internally cammed front derailleur. And then in the back you're going to have an R7000 GS derailleur with a 1134 cassette. So you're going to have a super wide cassette range, and that's going to end up with a really big gear range to be able to do just about anything, kind of like the rest of the bike. Now, of course, it's going to be set up using the new R7000 hydraulic shifters. Previous generations of the SL5 used the generic shifter, but in this particular case, we've got the new shifter that has virtually the same hood and hand design as what you would have gotten with Ultegra or Dura-Ace, and it feels really nice in the hand. Now, the brakes on this bike, these are hydraulic flat mount brakes. You're running a 160 front and rear rotor, and these are center lock. Now, the fork is also going to have little mounts to be able to do fenders, so you're going to have some fender mounts on the front of the bike, and you also get fender mounts on the rear. So you've got fender mounts down where the cable routing comes out, and then up top there's small little mounts that are hidden just beneath the seat stays. So those mounts are going to allow you to run fenders. Now, cable routing is all internal. You can see that, of course, the shifters have it run along the bar, and then as we go down, you can see that it's going to come in on the down tube. be all internal. And what's really nice is where the water bottle cage mounts on the down tube, this panel can actually be opened. And that's nice because that's going to allow you to take this off, and it's almost a big opening inside of there to be able to help run cables if you need to. Of course, you're going to have another water bottle mount down on the seat tube, and then the internal cable routing goes all the way out to just above the rear derailleur. Now on the inside of the chainstay, you're going to see it's got a spot for what they call a Duo Trap S. And that is basically a mount to be able to get speed and cadence. And it's an additional feature that you can add, and it just pops into the frame so you have cable tie free speed and cadence that's mounted into the bike. Now, final things to mention on this bike is going to be cockpit, wheels, and tires. For wheels, this is running Bontrager's Affinity TLR wheels. So this is a wider 19mm internal rim wheel with 12 by 142 rear center lock hubs. And then on the front, same wheel, but with 12 by 100 front hubs. The tires on the bike are going to be Bontrager's own R1 700 by 32. So it's pretty crazy that you're getting a road bike, an endurance road bike in 2019. They're now coming with 32C tires. Comfort is the way to go. Now your saddle is going to be a Bontrager Arvada comp saddle, and that's attached to an aluminum seat cap, which is mounted on the carbon fiber seat mast. So a seat mast means that the saddle actually mounts onto a cap that goes on top of the frame, and that allows for, you know, a bit more ride quality because it's not going to be affected by how high your saddle is. For the handlebars and stem, you've got the Bontrager Blendr stem, Bontrager Comp handlebar. Comp handlebar is a short reach and shallow drop, so it's going to be a bit more comfortable. Thanks for watching this video on the Trek Domane SL5 disc. Go ahead and let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. It's a pretty awesome bike. I think it makes a ton of sense for a lot of people, but I'd love to know your thoughts on this bike. As always, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do. And if you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up button. I really appreciate it.